crash course today we'll be discussing ancient world history by Maya, Laura, Emily, and Tracy.
Beginning with the early human civilizations, the greatest struggle of the early humans and civilizations was to become developed enough to concentrate on things other than day-to-day survival. Homo erectus's greatest success was the discovery of fire, which allowed them to move out of Africa to colder regions, which enabled their greatest legacy, the populating of the entire planet by a relatively small number of people. On to Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt. After a series of power struggles between city-states in ancient Mesopotamia, the Akkadians succeeded in overrunning the Sumerians, forming the first empire, which was the Empire of Babylon. Hammurabi was the first Babylonian emperor and created a code of laws known as Hammurabi's Code, which was the first set of law from which no one was exempt. The Egyptian society produced many remarkable structures which have their lasting legacy to the present, reminding us of the magnitude of their society.
Moving on to India. The major success of India is Sanskrit. It is a major success because it was the first writing system in India. It enabled them to write legends, charts, rituals, and other important things that helped us know what happened. India's major struggle is the caste system. It is a major struggle because it has and still puts many people in dangerous situations. Though it may be a religion, it still becomes a struggle for many. If born in your caste, you must die in your caste. So if someone tries to have a better life, they are attacked and hated for becoming successful. The legacy of India is the finding of Buddhism. This is a legacy for India because it shows a calm side to India. It leaves behind a kinder, better side. The Chinese major success was the development of Chinese philosophies. This is a major success because it dealt with political and social changes and helped restore order to society. The major struggle for the Chinese major struggle was people getting stolen from enemies and having to build the Great Wall of China. Farmers would be taken and put into slavery, which was a struggle itself, and then building it, the Great Wall of China, was a hardship. It is said that 2 to 3 million people died during the construction, and if you weren't dead, you would have to deal with hard labor, not being able to return home, and sometimes not being able to find food and shelter. Chinese legacy is the Great Wall of China. This is a legacy because it shows the unity and hard-working side of China.
Now going on to Greece. The Spartans had success in a strong military, and they didn't have open debate, but the Athens had poetry, sculptures, and freedom and open debate. The struggles were the Spartans were isolated and didn't have any art, and the Athens didn't have a strong military. And the legacy was they created the Pythagorean theorem by Pythagoras. And they used math back then we use now today. And Euclid created geometry that we use today. Rome. The success they had was they built roads to travel through, and they had good citizenship. The community, they were able to govern themselves. And the struggles they had was they had a big gap between wealthy and poor, and they had political struggles and different social classes that didn't collide. And the legacy is the spread of Christianity. And I'm done.
Islam. The definition of that is straight passage to God. A success in Islam was the mixed cultures between Jews and Christians. What was a struggle for Islam? Most people think Muslims are bad, / terrorists, but not all are. What was Islam's legacy? Mecca, and they are still known today.
America. Success in America was the pottery that gave clues to civilization.
The struggle in America, no written language, and life centered around welfare. The legacy in America, centered of civilization.
Now on to the Mongols. The struggle they had was they didn't have a very strong government. It wasn't really organized. And the success they had was they had a strong military, and the leader was Genghis Khan. And the legacy was the idea of riding on horses during war, and 16 million Mongols descended.
Now on to the Indian Ocean Trade Network. A success of the Now on to the Indian Ocean Trade Network. On the eastern coast of Africa, a new language and culture were born. The language was born of Arabic and the local language Bantu. The language persists today as a legacy of the flourishing multicultural societies of the times. The Indian Ocean Trade Network struggled with the Portuguese who, upon discovering the rich, diverse cultures there, proceeded to loot and destroy their prosperous cities.